The criticism, I think we've read it out to you earlier from Lieutenant General Khumalo, was that why would you want to turn this into a big case, corruption case, when it's simply about the appointment of a person within SEPS. Now, I know that you are limited in terms of what detail you can give us. But can you give us some high-level indicators, factors that arise from the investigation into this case and which satisfied you, obviously it must have satisfied you, that there are reasonable prospects of a successful prosecution for corruption and fraud in this matter? There's been some interference with your microphone.
Advocate. Yeah, no, we just wanted to bring it to, I think that your mic was off.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe it's that part of the afternoon, although I know I'm going to be here long hours. So when we get to the affidavit, Honorable Chair and members, we have discussed from page 13, paragraph 33, about the allegations against Lieutenant General Khumalo and his co-accused, why we thought in paragraph 37 that looking at the cumulative effect of the Section 27 referrals from Mr. Adams, that they amounted to state capture, and then delved into the individual matter. And so in terms of the individual matter, we indicate in terms of AJ1, which is attached here too. And I think if the Chair and members would allow me.
AJ1 is the charge sheet.
The charge sheet. The charge sheet, AJ1, if, you know, charge sheets like a lot of English, but if one goes to, at the bottom of the page, it says page 7, the top of the page is paragraph 12. But if one goes through page 7, page 8, up to the top of page 9, which stops at 12.15, which is why I chose to attach the charge sheet, sets out in essence. Sorry, Chair.
Advocate Johnson, just, well, for me too, and for the honourable members, there is, AJ1 starts with what is called the charge sheet.
Yes.
But then it's
all the court appearances.
Then there's a, yeah.
And bail receipts.
And then there's another document
that says charge sheet.
Yes.
That is the document, sorry, Chair, that
which names the accused and which gives a summary
of the charges.
Yeah, that and when you refer to the pages, it's at the bottom.
It is at the bottom of that document.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you, Chair. And it is attached so that it indicates throughout the document who the accused are. It sets out the provisions of the Corruption Act, but more pertinently then, from page 7 up to the top of page 9, Honourable Chair and members, it sets out what the state alleges that the accused collectively did and did not do. And what it talks to is non-compliance with, at paragraph 12.3, the National SAPS instruction in summary 11 of 2017, which deals with the appointments to posts in the SMS, where it sets out appropriate managerial experience, competence, and suitable, which means suitability of candidate, amongst other relevant factors to be considered by the selection panels. 12.4, that the selection panel was chosen by accused 1 and it comprised of accused one, which is Lieutenant General Khumalo, as the chairperson, and other panel members, which were the co-accused. And if we can go to paragraph 12.7, so that I don't waste time, it was discovered that accused 1 and 5, accused 5 being one Sydney Zwelithini Gabela, and I can mention the name only because it is there in the charge sheet, which is a public document, are well known to each other, as is evident because accused 1, in applying for his security clearance, had the person as a reference. And we say that so that throughout you are able to see how the accused grouped themselves in a manner that sought to circumvent the processes. And by putting themselves in a specific grouping, they knew what they wanted to achieve. They knew which person they wanted must get the post, and that is what the witnesses will tell us. 12.8, accused 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, acting in concert, shortlisted 5 candidates, 2 who were from within TSS, which is the crime intelligence environment, 3 from outside SAPS. And then they seek to do a few things, and I'll only mention 1 or 2, but accused 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 made misrepresentations about some of the candidates' knowledge, skill, and experience, and misrepresented in their report for the recommendations that all 5 candidates meet the requirements of the post. In fact, at 12.12, accused 7 submitted false and misleading information in her application and curriculum vitae. And 12.13, misrepresentations were also made by the accused with regards to the vetting application by accused number 7, resulting in her getting a security clearance she was not qualified to get. And at 12.14, accused 1 to 6 abused the authority vested in them by willfully disregarding and not complying with the SAPS National Instruction 10 of 2017, and in concert awarded a gratification as per the definition of gratification in the Corruption Act, which talks to a form of employment, to accused 7 in the form of employment without just and reasonable cause at the expense of other duly qualified, experienced, and skilled senior officers of SAPS. So when the panel was put together...
And just for the record, this is a public document, and obviously Lieutenant General Khumalo and all the other accused, they're in possession of this document. They know exactly what
that is correct.
The charges and the basis for the charges are.
That is correct, and that's the only reason I am able to read what I read into the record. And to then perhaps surmise that that is the gist of it, is they group themselves in a way to achieve a particular agenda, which agenda was to gratify Brigadier Mokwele with the post she was neither qualified nor had the requisite experience for, because she needed to be placed in a strategic position. And in placing her in that strategic position, it then indebted her to the accused for whatever they required in the future. And that comes in the other cases in terms of the other investigations that we are continuing to investigate.
What role would that person play if appointed?
So that
within
person
crime
would be
intelligence?
the head of the technical services. And the technical services is quite an important program for crime intelligence. It is where all covert work is done, where instructions for interception and monitoring goes through, where the procurement of devices, listening devices, interception devices are procured. The big procurement items happen here. And so you would need someone here who is not going to question you for that which you want to do. And it wasn't so previously in terms of, well, let me backtrack. Not to the knowledge of IDAC was someone previously in this position that was able to be compliant with what any divisional commissioner would have wanted.
As we go forward, General Khumalo removes Khan temporarily from we position What's that side? Just a second, Commissioner. Okay, as I'm looking, Commissioner, if I may, General Khumalo removes General Khan in the office with intelligence space from Mbuyisela back to the post which was supporting. Now, when that happens, Khan apparently didn't like that because that position is very powerful, the intelligence one. General Khumalo takes Umama Madlanga, fakwa laphaya, in that space where Khan was operating. Now, you come back for me to connect these dots that I'm still connecting. It's still active on my side. General Khumalo is charged right after these things happened, where Madlanga also is charged. To me, there was a focus on that intelligence space where General Khan is operating must not be lost to them. But who charges Khan, General Khan, is IDAC. Now, IDAC charges General Khumalo on HR-related matters. In some of those video clips where she was asked, I don't know where exactly, but she was asked, is this not an HR-related matter? She replies like a prophet. This is a state capture. In future, she sees it as a state capture in future. So it's like Khumalo is being arrested for something that's going to happen, not what is happening currently. That's how I viewed some of the interviews that I got to listen to in one stage. I wanted to ask that, but time was not allowing me. So I asked myself, if General Khumalo is arrested for the hiring of a person from externally, in SAPS there's what we call external post, where a person from outside can apply. For example, the acting Commissioner NASCOM, Commissioner Dimpane, is coming from outside of SAPS. She's not coming from the ranks of SAPS, from constable growing up. She got to Sevens and got a higher rank. She was an accountant, if I'm not wrong. Including EPA ka Mahmoud Dimpane, is coming from Parliament. She was at level 7. But now I think she's a brigadier, if I'm not wrong, in the SAPS. So I asked myself, why would IDAC be focused on arresting Khumalo and Madlanga? So again, that connects dots for me. This is a Khan-Johnson relationship again. One must look into this matter. Why kwenzeka lokhu? What is the reason for this arrest? It didn't make sense. So even today, when we ask Umamu Johnson for the referral of arresting General Khumalo, we asked this in ad hoc. Even today, we don't have it. Where was the referral? How was this referred to IDAC? What happened? We never got the gist of this matter, including today. And the arrest, again, it happened. It worries me, Commissioner, ukuthi singathatha indoda esiyithemba nge-600 million. Siyibophe bese siyikhulule siyibuyisele ekhaya sithi ayiyosebenza kulo 600 million. Ne-state security sale marsh ekhona today marsh and marsh. We don't arrest this person. The reason is siyamdinga. So how important is this arrest? That's the question mark I still have. So as I said to the advocate, my statement, for me, it's still active and alive. I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Because these are questions I'm going to ask in the, in the committee. Last one.
Sorry, Mr. Shongwe. I have no idea of IDAC processes, but you said you queried the issue of
Referral.
the referral. Yeah. How does that work? Does IDAC only take on matters that have been referred? Who does the referrals? If you could, if you do know, if you could explain that.
I know from what they said, Bona, in the IDAC. When we were questioning Ubabu Paul Sullivan, with some of the matters that were probed with IDAC and IPIT, Zieganja, then the referral issue comes there. There should be a referral. IDAC cannot on its own institute a case according to what they say. However, in the Khumalo saga, apparently there is no referral. It was then alleged which is going to be cooked up, but we never got it even today. We even sent letters through the committee. Now today we didn't get it. The reason for that was because we were told that the IDAC doesn't go after you without a referral.
On something else, we had Mr. O'Sullivan here yesterday.
Yes.
And he disputed the fact that General Khumalo's arrest related only to HR matters. If I'm not mistaken, I think he pinned it down on alleged outright corruption. And that was the basis for the arrest. What would your comment be on that?
Ngenhlanhla Commissioner ngumhlali wase South Africa. So information ngiyithola njengawo wonke umuntu wase South Africa. Thina sonke sazi ukuba Khumalo uboshwele intombazana yase BMW. Abanye baze basola ukuthi intombi yakhe. Nayo leyo ndaba lesafuna ukuyibheka ukuthi is it true now ukuthi intombazana icasheke ngendlela enga right. But because now we are focused on this one, we wanted to know ukuthi kwenzakalani. Why abantu abenze the very same issues about Khumalo azenzile bangekho arrested, but this one is arrested. And yet again, he's so important in the country that siyakubopha siyakukhulula sithi no, go work it with imali yase South Africa 600 million, go work with the businesses, because today the match, if the match goes out of hand, Khumalo will be blamed. If the match is successfully guarded, Khumalo and the team will be given credit. So if that's the case, why then arrest this person, umbuyise, and trust them with such? It doesn't make sense still in a match.